Welcome back to the podcast. I'm joined once again by Rob.
Howdy.
And this week we are covering chasing trends in photography and the truth about actually staying relevant in the industry versus being one of those people. We're going to have a little bit of talk about media trends and how they relate to photography. So social media will be the main focus on this one, but generally speaking, media trends and how they relate to what it is we're doing as jobs. Some new kit purchases because my not buying kit this year is going really well. Having just spent, what was it, £870 on hard drives?
Yes, the least fun purchase ever.
That was not a good time. And then if this wasn't my job or Rob's job, what kit would we buy? Because we always talk about kit from the perspective of pros, but we're going to discuss what we do if money didn't matter. Or at least not that money didn't matter, but we weren't making money from the kit, because I think that's a relevant conversation. So, once again, this week we are sponsored by myself and Rob at a Studio Access.
Mostly you, to be fair.
Mostly me. I'll be dipping deep into my pockets to fund this chit chat. So Studio Access is my platform, I suppose. It's where you get away from social media. It's where I teach all the things that I'm just not going to share for free on here. So this week we have, and you can go and check this for free for 7 days, get a free 7-day trial. The bits of kit you can skimp on. So we're going to go around my studio and show you what we have that's expensive, when you absolutely can't skimp on it, and if you can, what you should do to skimp. Pricing advice, we've got a video talking about when clients change scope after the initial estimates, and a lot of people come a cropper with this, how to balance your estimates and how to quote in a way that someone goes, you know how we had 10 shots we wanted for £10,000? We only want 8 now. And you're sat there going, yeah, but it's still going to take the whole day. We cover that because that's an important topic. The full commercial process. So we're talking about from inquiry to delivery, everything we do and all the little stages in between that you have to go through. And then we've got some interviews with my crew that I found. So we shot this TV campaign last year at some point in that chaotic... So last year was a weird one. It was dead. And then it was so busy. I ended up incredibly unwell. But it was somewhere in there we shot a TV campaign that I completely forgot about. So we've got somebody... I don't even know who did this. Was it you?
No, it wasn't me.
So there's interviews. We're sat in the office being interviewed about stuff. Anyway, we've got those interviews and I just found them randomly. They'll be going on Studio Access, so that'll be there as well. But, Rob, how long's it been since we've done one of these now? A couple of weeks only, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a couple of weeks. We're kind of almost back on track, dare I say it.
Almost back on schedule for weekly podcasts. What have you been up to since then?
So I've been mostly knee-deep in pre-production, because as you know, I start shooting a new short film next week.
Yep.
So been having a number of production meetings with the director, trying to get all that kind of nailed down. And it's an exercise in basically how to film things in quite a small flat.
Nice. What are the main limitations there?
Well, unlike Hollywood, we can't build a flat inside a set and have loads of space to put cameras and such. So, especially when a lot of it revolves around the bedrooms, the film is called A Very Real Ghost.
Right.
So watch your space for that, because that hopefully will come out in the not too dim and distant future. So we start shooting that on Wednesday, and we've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we've got 5 days on it, because one of the actors is actually coming over from Lithuania, so we've only got a very short period of time.
Long days then.
So it has to be done. Don't know ifs, ands or buts about it. So there's that. So yeah, so I'm going to be a bit creative and actually using certain kit that you wouldn't necessarily always want to use yourself. Like the little action cam, for example, is going to be making an appearance in a few places in the film. So
that'd be fun to grade.
It's actually not so bad. I spent enough time with it trying to get it to match the Black Magics, and it can be done. It's just a bit of effort.
Yes, I find the DJIs my wife got, which is apparently similar to your action cam, but clearly not, having seen them side by side.
Yeah,
different processors maybe.
Yeah, I think so, and it's also the way it presents things as well, because like yours is more of a vlogging device, whereas mine is more of an action cam. So the actual look of it's very different as well. Like you do have something of a bit of sort of shallow depth of field on yours, whereas mine kind of doesn't. Just everything's kind of in focus, and that's just the nature of the beast.
I'm pretty sure my shallow depth of field is fake, because I did a static camera once in it, and stuff in the background wobbled. Yeah, it shouldn't have done that. That's not how autofocus works.
Yeah. So I've been doing that, and tomorrow I've got another episode of Breadsticks to do. So that's
nice.
So
busy few days.
It's kind of hell week, and my next day off is after I see you again. So the 23rd is my next day off.
Oh wow! So I suppose your last day will be in here editing. because we've got a drinks workshop, which is not part of Studio Access, but I finally convinced a drink stylist to share their secrets.
Yes.
Now, to put this into context, on set, they won't even tell me what they're doing to the drink. They're like, that's secretive. I'm like, what's that weird powder called Mystery X? And they're like, not telling you. Tops. Anyway, I've convinced somebody. I basically paid somebody to tell me.
Yeah.
So we're filming that and then editing it. But you're not here for the filming for a change.
I'm not, unfortunately, no.
We've got Mr. Nick Lee Shields in for the film. Do you know Nick?
Yeah, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know he's a professional wrestler on the side?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, neither did I.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, he's got does the full thing, like, you know, that's his like side quest. So we got him coming in here. He's also DOPing my documentary for me. Or not all of it. I'm DOPing the interviews. He's DOPing the B-roll because I just thought I can't direct and DOP at the same time.
No. You can do one or two things. So.
Yes, yeah. I think I can direct and DOP an interview because it's not dissimilar to a YouTube video, but I think it might be a little bit too much doing run and gun and directing.
When do you start on that?
Monday. Monday we begin. I say we start. We've already started. Like it's been interesting. I won't go into it too much because I know it's not really what people come here to listen for, but it's been fascinating learning what I need to learn to make a documentary. And I would say 95% of it has nothing to do with cameras.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what's the story?
What's the story, narration, trying to get the best out of the subject, trying to get the story told through the subject without it being script. Like it's a real, it's very interesting. Very interesting. It would be interesting how it would look. I'm sure, I think I've got an advantage that visually it will look okay for a first documentary. I think most people doing the first documentary have to also learn how to film in light. I think I've got that at a level where I'm like, yeah, do you know what? Worst case scenario, it'll look good.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the story arc.
Yeah, getting the narrative across.
Yeah. And you know, trying to get the point across I want to get across. But there we go. So there's that. Now, speaking of which, this is relevant. So chasing trends, and this is relevant to the documentary thing. So people are like, oh, are you doing this now because your work is going to get taken by AI? And obviously the answer is no. I've wanted to make a documentary since about 2012, I think it was. And I nearly did one. And then I didn't have the money to do it because it's not cheap.
No.
Like it's not like a cheap documentary is not cheap to make. So, and I didn't have I couldn't even afford to pay for people's taxis to places back then. So I didn't do it. And it's always been on the back burner. And then I was like, I can afford to do this and I can afford to do it at a standard where if the story turns out to be good, we can do something with it. And I've already got some distribution lined up, having not even really done much. Yeah. So, and of course, I'm in a position now where I know people. I can walk into a place and say home, be like, can you grade this for me? Like, and you know, things like that. So that's why I'm doing it. It has nothing to do with AI stealing my work. I am still yet to lose a job to AI. And of course, people have lost jobs to AI. I'm not saying they don't lose jobs to AI. Of course they have. I lost a job to CGI a couple of years ago. But it didn't mean I just went, well, that's it. That's it. It's done. CGI took my job. So, you know, I don't flit about going, oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. Like, I have no interest in AI. It doesn't interest me. I don't want to AI my images. I want to create them because part of what I enjoy about being a photographer is being a photographer. I think that's a major part of why I like doing what I like doing. Like, you know, AI can do what it wants. I'm still going to create images. And so far, I still make a living from it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if anything, this year you've ramped up more than last year before the big AI boom happened.
Yes. I mean, the only downside is the hard drives I just had to buy in their ridiculous price.
Yeah.
Cheers, data centers, and this lovely bit of global warming we have. We've got another heat wave next week.
I know.
I swear to God.
For overseas viewers, if you know anything about the UK, we don't do heat waves around here. It's not really our thing. We do wet a lot.
We do wet. We're good for wet. Although this winter was so wet, everything flooded. But we don't have reservoirs, or we haven't built any reservoirs since Winston Churchill was around. So all that water has now gone to sea, and now it's like a barren wasteland. My garden lawn is yellow. It's just hard, cracked dirt.
Yeah.
And we don't have the infrastructure. Our houses are designed to stay hot. I will be sat outside at 9 at night having a beer in the garden. We've got like a raised patio bit, and I can feel the heat radiating off the house behind me.
Yeah.
It's awful. And poor Teddy. So last year, Teddy didn't come in for 1 week because of the heat wave. This year, he's not been in the studio for about 6 weeks already. And it's the same next week. He can't come in because it's too hot.
Yeah.
He can't go to the park for a wee because the floor will burn his feet. He can't go in the car here and back because the air conditioning takes so long to cool the car down to a suitable temperature. Anyway, I digress. I'm mad about the heat right now. I've also had to start wearing linen, and it's just not a good look on me. I look like that guy. I look like, yeah.
Yeah, it looked like you belong on a yacht, not in Hobie. So
As soon as I put linen on, my personality changes. I've got my linen shirt open, breezing like that. I've got my sunglasses on, vodka martini in hand. I look like an absolute idiot. But anyway, chasing trends. So I don't chase trends. However, you will become irrelevant if you don't change what you're doing. And this is where the internet gets mad, because that sounds like a contradiction. I do what I want to do, and I keep my style as my style, but I change it regularly and often. So if let's take music, for example. I'm trying to think of a well-known band that this will work for. Queen. Most people know the band Queen. Queen were inherently Queen, and they did what they did throughout their career. But if you listen to their first album and their last album, they are very different albums, but they are still Queen. And at each point of creating an album, they created the album that was true to their creative vision at that time. If their first album had to have been recreated 10 times, you'd say they've not really progressed much, have they? They're just doing the same thing they've always done. Now, if they'd have gone, well, we're a hip-hop group now, you'd been like, oh, that's a bit much. That's not what I liked before. So there is as it's like with dress sense. So I have worn a black t-shirt, as you well know. This is my black t-shirt. I wear a black t-shirt every day of the year. I only own black t-shirts. But I change the cut of my t-shirt every few years. Not because I suddenly go, well, I'm changing what I'm doing. Like, I just slightly changed my taste. There was 1 year where I had V-necks. It was a bad year, but it's it changes. Like it progresses, it evolves. And what happens is, as culture evolves around you, you get new influences. So for years, splash photography, for example, was shot in a very specific way. If you try and sell that today, no one wants it because it's out of fashion. There are splash photography specialists. If you haven't moved with the times, and if your splashes don't look like modern day splashes, it's irrelevant. Now, is that selling your soul because you did it one way once and not? I don't think so, because the way you did it before would have been inherently dictated by taste and by trends. So the current trend is not to be tack sharp, to have maybe a bit of ambient blur in there. All these things where it's like slightly different, but which we'll go into a lot more detail in our drinks workshop. But all these things matter. And I think this whole like chasing trends to be relevant thing is interesting, because have you seen the latest social media thing? It's chic to be, and that, like, isn't it? Like, I don't jump on that sort of thing. That's a flash in the pan fad. Like, that will be gone in 4 weeks' time.
Yeah. Soon as the next one rolls around,
I'm not playing those games. But I do change my taste in what I'm doing. My sets are becoming more like, they were very minimal for a long time. Literally subject, background, very minimal, all about the subject. But I'm starting to bring more stuff into it. But it still looks like my work. When we shot the Grandad on location, it was a busy set in terms of what was in the shot, but it still had my sensibility. It still had my style.
And again, that's also always gone full circle. Because I remember not all that long ago, really, on the grand scheme of things, but you used to do a lot of very busy sort of flat lays.
Yes, yeah.
Lots of stuff going on those.
Lots of stuff going on. And then we really simplify. And again, it slowly progresses, and it slowly evolves, and it slowly changes. If I'm taking the same photograph at 50 that I am doing today at 40, I'll be deeply disappointed in myself. It should change. It should progress. Sometimes you get it wrong. You go, oh, this might be good. You do it and you go, Or sometimes you look back on it and go, yeah, that was not the one. So, I think it's just really important to keep creating. And I don't think you should follow trends. I don't think you should go, oh, everyone's doing it like this right now, let's do that. But I think you need to be aware of it and maybe go, do you know what? I like my minimal style, but I want to take it onto location. Or I like my minimal style, but I want to get a bit of motion blur in there for my product. Like, whatever it is, how do you evolve and constantly change and constantly move? And I don't think chasing the latest, like if I was going to chase the latest trend, I'd have those like starburst things and all my specularities. But it's just, it's a fad, it's a trend. However, you know, these people who shot their whole body of work like that, in 5 years' time, it will look really dated. And they get a flash in the pan success, maybe, if there were early adopters. If you're thinking of buying a starburst filter right now, you have missed the boat. But I don't know. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I think it's kind of, I mean, music's probably a good analogy. You know, I mean, music has evolved hugely over the years. Now, as you know, I'm very much stuck in 1987 and almost refuse to acknowledge anything that's been ever made since. But I am aware of it, and I do listen to a number of kind of channels on Spotify and what have you. And you listen to sort of new music within that genre, and every so often you come across a bit of gold, and you're like, oh, I like this.
Yeah.
It's fresh but familiar.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same, you know, like, you know, we all have a nice doom scroll on Instagram from time to time.
Love it.
And then you look at things, you think, okay, well, it's not my style, but that's interesting. And then again, you can take, you know, draw inspiration from it. So I wonder what, and as you say, the what ifs. What if I did it this way?
And I think that's really important. I think I see a lot of photographers going, oh, I shoot all these different things. And I mean, I can shoot a wedding and I can shoot it in many different styles. And I believe this is where most photographers go wrong or misunderstand where the value is in our work and what you're charging for. I could shoot a portrait in the style of Annie Leibovitz, technically. I cannot take an Annie Leibovitz portrait.
Because you're not Annie Leibovitz.
I'm not Annie Leibovitz. And the thing is, photography is really easy. It's physics. You can look at a picture and recreate it pretty quickly. And it doesn't take any real skill, I don't think, in that sense. What does take the skill is understanding the style and the niche. So, like, you know how to take one of my photographs. I guarantee you, if we're both given the same thing, you were given my kit, our photographs will look different.
Yeah.
Because you would technically take the same photograph as me, but you don't know what I know about the subject matter. And it's impossible for you to know what I know about the subject matter because you've not lived my life. And there is no way that, like the same with this documentary, we can both shoot the documentary I'm making and it would look pretty similar in terms of visuals, but it'd be the little choices, like, you know, where to, it's all the choices that matter the most are the small choices, and it's like the soft skills. So the way our documentary would different if we both did the same subject matter is, I mean, one, I know the subject matter and the area of expertise they have inside out. Like there's not many subject matters I know more than professional cycling in the early noughties. And the chance of you asking the right question is
zero.
slim to
Absolutely
none.
zero.
Yeah. There is also the fact that I understand the subject matter and the subject in it, and I will be able to get out of them things that you wouldn't because you simply wouldn't know. It'd be like me interviewing Led Zeppelin. Yes, I've listened to their album. I'm aware that they're a big band, but I wouldn't ask an interesting question. I would just ask the question probably most people would ask.
Yeah, the obvious things.
Yeah. And it is all soft skills. So, I don't know, like take photographing an ice cream, for example. Everyone listening to this can photograph an ice cream like I would. I would put the light 14 foot in the air at a 45-degree angle with a bright coloured background. But at which point of defrosting do you photograph it? Do you want to show freezer burn? Do you want it to be melting? If you want it to be melting, how much do you want it to be melting? And I will literally sit there and go through 100 ice lollies until I get it melting in the perfect way for the shot. And it's nothing to do with the camera. It's nothing to do with the lighting setup. It is knowing that right there is exactly how that ice lolly should be melting for me.
Yeah, I was saying that's the key thing, is how you want it.
Yes. And then because I understand the subject matter of fast food and junk food so well, because that's what I work with, it is the right one for the majority of the public. And most people look at it and go, that looks really nice. But if, I don't know, you say you shot it and you're not as obsessed with fast food culture and things as I am, you wouldn't understand at which point of melting is the correct point of melting. It's the same when you're shooting coffee for a coffee brand. People look and go, that's a nice coffee. I'm like, the bubbles round the corner of the flat white are too large. It's ruined the silky texture of the milk. Like, and other people don't see it.
Yeah.
And for a lot of the public, it doesn't matter. They don't notice it, but it does matter. Because those micro little adjustments are the difference between selling an extra 100,000 coffees a day. So there's always little soft skills. And I think in chasing trends in terms of stylistically, I think you need to be aware of them and maybe see what you can pull from them. Like you say, you go, oh yeah, I like that new thing. That maybe we can, implement a bit of that in there. Or you might be like, oh yeah, I've started watching comedy. I want to make my photos a bit funnier. I'm going to keep the aesthetic the same, but add a bit of a punchline to them. And it's just slowly evolving and slowly adapting. And I think that's the way to do it. And I think you do need to specialize. So I don't think it's very easy to be, I don't see how you could possibly be good at all of photography.
No, you can't, because it's so unbelievably vast.
Yeah.
And to get good at even, one area takes years.
And and it's not even, and again, the problem is, technically, sure you can.
Oh, yeah. But
like, I can do a band photo shoot, but I don't understand the current music culture. So when I was shooting bands, I understood exactly how they wanted to look and what was cool. I haven't got a clue today. And it's not the technical ability that people don't have, it's the soft skills. And they're so underrated. And I don't know of a YouTube channel that discusses this sort of stuff online.
No, same.
But the problem with it is, if I said to you, I can show you how to light my shot in 10 minutes, you'd be interested. If I said to you, I can show you how to learn my soft skills over a decade, no one cares. They're like, meh.
It's a bit more of a journey, that.
It's a bit more of a journey, which is a great segue to our next section. Social media. Social media, new trends. MySpace is coming back.
Brilliant.
Now, the reason this is interesting, I have no intention of starting a MySpace account again. Last time I had one, I had a fringe. I was probably wearing guy liner. But the less we say about the noughties, the better. So MySpace is coming back. And the interesting thing is, it is algorithm free. They have no intention of having algorithms on there. Because what's happened is people just become doom scrolling maniacs. And I fully agree. If I didn't do my job, I wouldn't be on social media. However, if you want to be a photographer, you have to be on social media. Not on YouTube. This is a separate business altogether. This is my education platform. This is a completely different company. If I was just a photographer, I would not be on YouTube. It doesn't help my photography career. It hinders my photography career. That's why I use a different name.
Yeah, because it's the brush. Oh my God, you're not a real photographer. You're just a YouTuber.
You're not a real photographer. You're an influencer. Idiot. Fair enough. I can take that. But the reason this is interesting is they wouldn't be doing it if there wasn't an interest in it. I mean, but my original plan for YouTube, we get offered a lot of sponsorship deals, and I turn the majority of them down now. I could probably make a decent chunk of change with sponsorship deals and making more popular videos. But what I choose to do is make niche videos. We'll have to package them up with the thumbnail and the title, otherwise no one clicks on the things. But, we package them up with a highly clickable title and a good thumbnail with some sort of like, ooh, I wonder what the answer is in there, which angers a few, but, it's free. So, whereas what we do now is on Studio Access, which is like our private platform, the video is literally called How to Price Your Work. And then we go, here's how to price your work. It's that.
It does what it says on the tin at that point.
But I don't need to entice people to click on the video because you've already paid to click on it.
Yeah.
Whereas on YouTube, you're fighting for attention and you've got to get the clicks in, normally to get the YouTube money, but we don't really worry about that. We want to get the clicks in so you can come and join us on Studio Access. Join the Facebook group. We're going to have a little Zoom meeting this month.
Oh, yeah.
Little Zoom, call it a workshop. It's not really a workshop. It's more like you jump in and you just ask me anything you're stuck on. We'll do one of those. Everyone jumps in, asks me the question, sort of goes along with it. So that's why we do that. Because again, it's not social media. MySpace is not really going to be social media. Or actually, is it going to actually be social media? More to the
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the model will be once it's all up and running.
Yeah, I mean they've got to make money still, haven't they?
Yeah, exactly.
You can't. Yeah, and this like everyone gets mad about these things. Like it is free. Like you've got options. You can I think Studio Access and YouTube's a great example here. If you come on YouTube, you're going to get adverts because it's free, and it's going to be highly clickable content because it has to be clicked on, and it's like an arms race for the most clickable title because it's free. If you go on Studio Access, is none of those things because you pay for it.
Yeah.
If you go onto Facebook, Instagram, you get adverts because it's free. And then people, if you give them a paid social media, I'm not paying for that. It's like, well, you're paying at some point. Everyone's paying somewhere.
Yeah, whether that be time scrolling past the adverts or
I mean, I tell you what, on a side note, premium YouTube is the best thing I've ever purchased.
Are you on the premium or premium light?
I assume the full package thingy.
30-ish quid a month, something like that?
I would no idea.
Right.
I should probably know.
See, I've gone down the premium light route,
Right.
which I think is like £8 a month or something.
Nice.
Could be wrong. But the only adverts I get now is on music. Everything else, all the regular content's advert free.
Mine's all advert. So I get the music app on my phone, which is what we listen to music in the car with.
Yeah.
Through the Apple CarPlay that you installed.
Yeah.
Very snazzy. And then, every time I go on someone's computer and I have to how do you do this? Put it into YouTube. I'm like, an advert? Jesus Christ. Take my money.
Yeah.
You add up that time over the course of a week and it's like, I'll pay 30 quid not to see that.
Yeah. Well, the only reason I don't, just getting sidetracked here, the only reason I don't go for the full Monty is because I have Spotify for my music and all my playlists and stuff that I've had for the longest time. So that kind of takes care of the music and everything else is dealt with the premium light. So that's a good shout. Trying to save a bit of money.
That is a good one. If you've already got a music player, go for that. I mean, I used to use Amazon Music.
So I've never used that.
Just because I realised I never got Spotify. Anyway, we're digressing. So MySpace is back. Very interesting. And this is where my podcast, or our podcast, this podcast, now performs better than standalone videos. A 1 hour long show now performs better than a 10-minute video.
And that historically was never the case.
Now, the 10-minute videos still have the potential to massively outperform, but I'm speaking in general, like every now and again I get 100,000 views on a short video. Generally speaking, I get between 5,000 and 10,000 views. The podcast is getting around 20,000 views, and it does take a lot of work on the thumbnail and title. And we have started chaptering them as well for people, because they're getting mad. I say they were getting mad, like 1 or 2 comments out of 28,000 views. But we listen. I'll chapter them if I have time. Don't always. Sometimes it doesn't work as well, which is really frustrating. But we chapter them, and we have to get. So the way that thumbnails and titles work is, you get to do 3 different thumbnails and 3 different titles, and it works out which one's best. But it doesn't work it out on which gets the most clicks. It works out on which gets a click which lasts the longest, which is a really good metric. Because you don't want to get the one which gets the most clicks and then everyone leaving after 10 seconds. You want to get somebody who goes, that's what I want, and then it is what they want. And of course, you can't please everybody.
Oh, no, of course not.
Especially like today, we've got 5 topics. Like, you might be interested in one of them, and I could make 5 standalone videos. But I like listening to podcasts. I drive with podcasts on. Yeah. I walk the dog with podcasts on. If you don't like podcasts, don't listen to the podcast. But like, there's short form videos too. But that, it's interesting that there's been, and it's not like a small change. It's a massive change. Like, the average podcast used to get between 5,000 and 8,000 views. Now they're constantly getting 20,000. Whereas the actual main videos that used to get my views are dropping down. And that's a huge cultural shift.
Yeah, and I think that's down to people's, kind of say, consuming habits.
Yeah,
are different.
I think so. I mean, I barely watch short YouTube videos anymore. I'm like, what can you possibly tell me in 5 minutes that's worth knowing?
So, I mean, I don't use it, but I'd be interested to see what's kind of happening in the world of TikTok and such. Yes. Is that evolving the same way, or
I don't know. I mean,
or whether it's a platform thing, whether now people, if they want short form content, go to somewhere like TikTok, and if they want longer form, they then go to YouTube.
I think so. I mean, one of my kids was saying, can you get rid of shorts being shown on YouTube? Because I'm fed up of accidentally clicking on it and doom scrolling. And I was like, let me show you. So I showed him how to get rid of it. I was like, that's brilliant. I'll happily listen to a half-hour-long history video. I mean, this probably says more about my personality, but like a 30-minute-long history video on the different tank treads they used during World War II. Yes, please. Like,
yeah.
But I've got no interest in listening to a 5-minute here's how to do a one light setup video. But that might be me. Like, even in other areas, like when I'm looking, I've been learning about, obviously, I've been watching a lot of documentary content.
In preparation for doing a documentary.
Yeah. I am not listening to a 10-minute video about documentary making. There is nothing you can teach me in 10 minutes that I need to know. It's got to be at least an hour long. I want a deep dive. I don't want to like scratch the surface and be like, oh, and it's that weird fake I've learned. So, oh, I've done something productive today. I learned how. It's like, no, you didn't. And it's the reason why most photographers' lighting is horrific, because they learn from these short videos. And instead of learning lighting, they have all these random little bits here with no connection between them all.
Yeah.
And you watch them trying to do something. It's like, what are you doing? Lighting's simple. It's specular. It's diffused. Hard, soft, close, far away, matte, not matte. Like, want dramatic fall off, light, close. Want it even, light, far. Want it even and soft, light, far, humongous softbox. Like, there's not much to it. All these like weird tricks and all the rest. It's like, yeah, don't really do that ever on a job. It's all very just physics.
Yeah, but I don't. At the same time, I don't see those videos as being aimed at working professionals either.
No, probably not. I mean, I like the I did a list of things I like watching last time, didn't I? The Exposed Negative's a good podcast. Barely gets any views, sadly. Like, kind of their videos are like 100 views on YouTube. I'm sure they get more on the other podcasting things, but it's like, that's a really good podcast. I listen to it regularly whilst driving. I also listen to the Film Photography podcast with Michael Rosso. I've listened to them for so long as a podcast that they actually sent me rolls of Kodachrome before Kodachrome stopped being processed at Dwayne's.
Yeah.
And I got my last few rolls of Kodachrome processed at Dwayne's, is it in Texas? And delivered, but I was like, yes, brilliant. But yeah, I love the bit of the Film Photography podcast. But I think it's good. Things are changing. Content's changing. And content doesn't change because of the algorithm. The algorithm changes because of the content being consumed.
Yeah, because of people's habits.
You're like, whenever you think, oh, the algorithm hates me, no, people hate you. That, like, if I get a video, so I did a video about my documentary film rig, tanked. It's not the algorithm hating me. People don't want to hear about my documentary film rig. I know that. I just wanted to share it. So I took a hit.
But then there was a time that rig videos were all the hype. Everywhere you turned, there was another rig video.
Yeah.
So.
But not anymore. So that's interesting, I think. I think it's great that and I don't believe attention spans have decreased. I think the difference is throughout your majority of your adulthood, you had television.
Yes.
Television is split into 30 and 60-minute segments. If you wanted a 20-second segment, it wasn't an option. But people who wanted it still existed. They just didn't have it. Whereas now, we have the opposite. We've got the 20-second section and the 8-hour podcast. Like, go and listen to, what's his name? My kids find him hilarious. Joe Rogan.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I've never met anybody say so many things that are factually incorrect. I'm like, why'd you listen to it? Funny. Like, great.
It is quite funny.
It is quite good, to be honest. I do enjoy a bit of it. I can't listen to it for too long, so it makes me angry, but it is funny. But you can literally go, I want 8 seconds, I want 8 hours. And you can pick. And I think the whole world is doing that now. They're going, yeah, I like long form content. Or no, do you know what? I like loads and loads of little snippets.
You see, for me, I mean, I don't know if you're the same, but when I'm like working away, if I'm editing anything, stills or, graphic design or whatever, then I will have a podcast or documentary or something on in the background.
Yeah, same.
And the less time I have to go back to that screen and change that thing, the better for me.
Absolutely.
So that, if I've got something that's, like a 2-hour documentary on something, that's brilliant for me because I don't have to touch that for 2 hours and just carry on working.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have a documentary playing without even having the visuals available, just the audio.
Yeah.
Just listen to it like a long book, I suppose. So that's great. I'm pleased about the new trend. I'm pleased people listen to the podcast and that it is now. I mean, yeah, I'm pleased. I think it's good. It shows people are interested in actual in-depth knowledge rather than bite-sized dopamine chunks, which we all like now and again, I suppose. But yes, new kit purchases. What have you bought recently, Rob?
I bought something. Oh. Now, I spent a heady £15 on this.
What you got?
I bought a bunch of little foams for lavalier microphones to stop cut down on rustling underclothes.
I've literally got the same things just arrived on my desk.
Oh, I should see what you've got then.
Yeah, I don't know if I bought the USA Pro something.
Yeah, for foamies.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
If I'd known that, I'd just nick yours.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's quite a few in the
I'd have
pack.
saved myself £15, but...
Well, it's like, wow, I spent slightly more. I bought a new focusing rig for my camera.
Yep.
Which was what, 300?
Yeah.
Probably.
There or thereabouts.
Yeah. I bought a new monitor for my camera.
Yes.
Because it had a cage.
Because it had a cage and a sunshade.
It's really cool. I bought some extra rigging bits for that. I bought some extra rigging bits for my other camera, which was another few hundred.
Yeah, because I mean, we virtually exhausted all your little clips and trinkets while we were rigging up your other vertical camera.
I had to buy extra bits. I had to build a vertical camera for social content. I bought some more aperture lights. I bought a 300 and I'm just going to look around there. Is it a 120D?
Mm.
I also bought the Aperture Light Dome Mini. And I was using that Laufast. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Laufast one, which is fine with a Godox 60 watt light in it. I upgraded it to an aperture with an aperture dome because I'm using it for the documentary as well. But also the light dome thing comes with a gold internal reflector, like a beauty dish, which bounces gold light back and makes it warm. And I really like mixed lighting. So it makes my studio go blue.
Yes.
So in the mornings, especially in the winter when I'm filming, the studio goes really blue with a cool light. And I really like that. So now I've got blue light.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with the Laufast, nothing wrong with that Godox. It's served me well for 10 years.
Yeah. I remember buying one of those Laufast things almost during lockdown. And that was 6 years ago. Christ, time moves on. And it was one of the first kind of like quick up soft boxes.
Yes, yeah. It's great. I mean, the only downside is the grid. I don't know if I've got the wrong grid on it, but it just seems like it doesn't fit nicely. It's a pain in the arse.
Yeah, it's that's not the greatest bit, but everything else about it is pretty decent.
Decent lights. Can't really complain. The Aperture one is built better, as you'd hope for the price point.
Yeah, of course.
But like, I mean, for using it for you, I mean, I reckon if I started doing documentaries regularly, that Laufast one would die within 6 months.
I don't know. I've used mine a fair old bit.
You did give it a battering? Okay, maybe not then.
And it's still going strong. I mean, it'll probably collapse down the next time we use it. But now I've said that. And they'll be like, so Rob, what you bought next? A new Laufast.
New Laufast.
Broke.
Yeah, but bought them all off eBay, all the kit, the lights, because, not paying brand new prices. And I think as soon as they're more than 20% less than they are brand new, you're not saving VAT, just by, like, I don't know how it is taxes in other countries. But I don't really buy anything that's only devalued by the amount of VAT anyway. By the time I buy stuff, it is devalued.
Yes.
So, bought those, which is good. What else have I bought? Got loads of new DJI mics that I can't mention because they're not launched yet. Got those all sent over, which is good because we do love a DJI mic. Yeah,
I'm interested. I mean, remember that question I posed to you earlier?
Yes, I don't know the answer as the answer.
Yeah, so I'd be interested to find what the answer to that is, actually, because I'd be amazed if they've missed that trick.
I think one set of them will do that. I think the other set is much more light, as it were. So he bought those as well. I've got all those returns by the door that I've not done from a shoot. We did a shoot and I ordered the props and I was supposed to be returning those. That's about £800 worth of China there.
Yeah, well, that'll pay for your hard drives. That you just bought.
Jesus. So. Yeah, I might have missed the return window. I'll have to go.
They were going
Not
on
for
eBay.
the first time.
Yeah.
They won't go on eBay. They'll sit in the studio for months and months and then I'll give them away, won't I? That tends to be what happens. Do you know what, though? I had, and this is a bit of a thing, I was like, if I could become a documentary filmmaker, I don't need my studio. I could have a home office.
Where are you going to put all this stuff?
I'll just get rid of it. Could you imagine how little kit I'd need as a documentary maker?
Well, yeah, I mean, just a bedroom's worth is everything you would ever need.
We got a spare room. I could just, and part of me got really excited. And I was like, I just make this a nice place here, get rid of all the kit in it. I still have to look after it. It's a pain having a studio. It's a lot of work. Like we came in this morning, it was a bomb site. I was like, for God's sake. It's just, I'm trying to get a reliable cleaner who turns up. You can't just have anybody because you don't want to get robbed by imagine they say down the pub by mistake, there's this studio full of really expensive kit.
Yeah.
It's like, great.
Well, I mean, obviously my old studio, which was also your old studio, was literally above a pub. So,
well, yeah, quite. That was a good times. It's just, I don't know. There's part of me just, I could just get a tiny office in the city centre, like this nice little office. Do you know what I mean? Like at the LCB depot or somewhere, just a little office. Yeah,
there's a few places like that. Like Maker's
Yard, beautiful little old, it'd be a nice, beautiful little office up there. Store my kit in there, pop in, take the dog with me, walk into town. Could be nice, but no, I decided to be a commercial photographer, so fucks it.
I mean, financially, probably the better shout, but
Yeah, to be fair.
In terms of like bougie artist lifestyle, probably not the one, but
yeah, and there's always that thing, isn't it? It's like I could have had a more trendy lifestyle, but actually, you know, whilst I was out for dinner at the Ritz the other night, I was like,
I do remember you during your I'm an artist phase.
Yeah, I was poor. I was poor. I was sneaking in a hip flask into bars poor.
Yeah, but no less bougie though.
No, I still had champagne taste. Yeah, just lemonade money. But yeah, I don't know. Money's nice. Doesn't fix problems, but it definitely had to go and sort something out last week. And it's one of these, like, I've always been of the do what you love, don't worry about the financial consequences. And this thing happened last week. I had to go and deal with it in London. And I reckon I spent 1,200 quid that day. And I'll tell you what, without wanting to sound like a knob, it was nice not having to worry. Because I remember when I was the artist photographer, not only would I have to worry, I wouldn't have had 1,200 quid sat around. Like, that wasn't a thing. And I'm sure I'd have found a way. I'd have got a bus to London instead of a train. You know, I wouldn't, you know, there's ways, but it would have been a nightmare. And it was already a stressful thing to do. Like, it's already like a horrific, and just to be able to go, I can make this okay. I can make this nice, was a nice feeling. And it definitely, I don't think you should chase money necessarily, but, and I pain to admit this because my partner told me this for years. She's like, if you just made a bit more money, you'd be a lot less stressed. And I was like, yeah, fair enough. That's doesn't fix problems, doesn't make you happy, but it lets you pay your way out of trouble. Like, there's certain things you can just go, like, there's a train cancelled a while ago for coming home from London, and it was bus replacement to somewhere where they were hoping there might be taxis later. I was got in a black cab. And I was like, this has just solved a problem. I've got work in the morning. I would have got home at 3 a.m. otherwise. And I was like, it was expensive, and I felt a bit violated by the fact that the train service could not get me back on a train. Yeah. But it is what it is, and being able to pay out of that is good. Doesn't make you inherently a happier person. You still have to live with yourself. If you're a dick like I am, you still have to go home with yourself at the end of the day. But
at least you're going home in style. That's the
going home in a nice chauffeured vehicle rather than a Prius. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's I often get these pangs of going, oh, I'm going to be a documentary filmmaker. I'll live the good life. Because let's be honest, what I do is not ethically great.
No, I mean, we've had this conversation a few times. I mean, you know, all things being equal, if people to say, you know, what is your dream job? You know, what if given anything you could do? Yeah. You know, shall we say within this trade at least? Yes. What would you do? And yeah, mine would absolutely be on Attenborough's film crew doing Blue Planet. That would just be amazing.
See, I'd be a documentary filmmaker working with people. That'd be what I'd do. And now I'm in a position I can do it because I did sell my soul to the devil and work commercially for a decade. Now I can go, oh yeah, actually, let's go and do a documentary and not worry about it. Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, I like the job. I don't necessarily like the ethics. I've done some things for large sums of money for companies that I would not buy from myself.
No, but then at the same time, you know, you still have a line drawn in the sand that you wouldn't cross.
Yeah, but it's getting blurry. There's a price for
every time a zero gets added to the end, that line shifts down the road a bit.
Yeah, well, I never published this particular advert. A few years ago, I did an advert for a brand I'm just double checking this. I don't believe this image is anywhere under my name, so I think I'm safe to say this. It's a brand which has done some horrific things to people and the world. They're massive. And I didn't want to shoot for them. So like you said, I added to zero and they paid. And I was like, okay. I did give heavily to charity afterwards. I was a bit like, oh, this is blood money, but I don't know. It's hard to say no when you got family and
I mean, so you know, you've got 3 small people.
Got little folks, got dogs and cats, and all the rest of it. It just you need to make the money sometimes. And I mean, I've had day jobs that were more ethically sketchy. So. But yeah, I don't know. Made some new kit purchases, got some good stuff going on. Now, if it wasn't your job, like your go-to setup at the moment, for people who don't know, is one of these cameras here. What's your main camera for work?
Well, for
motion, because motion's your mainstay.
Yeah, the Blackmagic Pocket 4Ks. That's anything video related. It's that. And anything stills, it's still the 6Ds.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, and I'd say the Blackmagic is the sensible purchase.
I think so. I mean, I was a very early adopter of it. And I think I bought it in 2018. So I can't believe how old that is. It doesn't feel,
It's going on for a decade.
It doesn't feel like it's that old, but it's, you know, it's getting on a bit now. So that's at least testament to what people said. It's a plastic toy and it'll fall apart in 5 minutes. You know, here we are kind of 8 years later and it's still rolling.
And your kit gets battered.
It gets used. I mean, I do need to strip it all down and give it all a little clean at some point. But yeah, that kind of that now. And again, in terms of actual cameras, I've only bought, I guess, 2 other cameras on top of the 6Ds and the 2 Blackmagics. And that's the Osmo Pocket, the Action 5 Pro. Yep. And then the drone, the Mini 4 Pro.
Yes.
So they're again complementary things that they do things that those can't. You know, the action cam you can kind of put in places where you just simply can't. I mean, I've had it in an oven. You know, for that little opening the shot. So that's kind of useful for little tricks like that. And the drone again, I can't really chuck that up in the air anytime soon and have it on a big monopod and hope for the best. So it's not the same look at all. So again, they're complementary to these, and and that's it really.
Now, if obviously, I bought Blackmagic too because as unsexy as it is the most sensible choice of a motion camera. If you didn't do this for a job and you're just buying a movie camera for the sake of fun, what would you buy?
Oh God.
And you have to be able to afford it in real life.
Well,
otherwise, yeah.
Well, I mean, and this is kind of the thing, because if I would buy something secondhand. I would not buy anything new.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned them a lot, and we're not sponsored by them, but I'll throw the name out there, CEX.
Yeah.
Because again, you buy a second-hand camera and you get 5 years warranty on it. It's like you don't get that with a brand new one. So
No.
I don't understand why you would buy a new one. So it would probably be something like an EOS R, and that would be one cam does all.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
That's probably where I would pitch my money. Maybe one of the newer ones, again, subject to being able to actually afford it, something that does like proper internal RAW. Would be ideal. Is
that like the R5 or something?
Yeah, something like that. Because obviously you've now got the Mark IIs and Mark IIIs of all these things. So the OGs have dropped quite a lot.
Yeah, they're very exciting prospect. Yeah. If you're a new mixed media shooter, stills in motion, R5 second hand.
Yeah, that's kind of where you want to be at. I mean, the EOS R is really reasonably priced now. Which was their kind of first go at a mirrorless.
Yeah.
I personally don't like the camera because I've been given one and I've played with one and I've had one for a while and I just couldn't get on with it.
I just don't like mirrorless cameras, and I say that as someone who shoots mirrorless. Like I shoot with a what's it called? My stills one.
Fuji.
Yeah. I shoot with the Fuji.
GFX.
Hate it. It's a hateful camera to use. However, it does make good images. So nice sensor, awful camera. I think for me, obviously as a stills person, I would get a Hasselblad 500 CM with a digital back. That'll be it. I mean, I'm constantly almost buying one on eBay.
So within the realms of you have to be able to afford it. Now, obviously, your paycheck and mine are very different. But
you can get one for like 6K.
Yeah, that's still quite expensive.
Still quite, yeah. It's But I don't think it's unreasonable to spend 6K on a camera.
No, it's about the going rate for a new one. I mean, you just had
exactly.
You just had Sony release their new one. Is it the FX5? And that's about $6,000.
So for the price of a new full frame camera by Sony, Hasselblad, 500 CM,
and for stills a much better machine.
It's just beautiful, isn't it? Or a Leica M6 film in black with a 28mm lens. They'd be my probably go-to. Oh, and also talking about Sony, someone said, why do you never mention Sony on your videos when you're talking about different camera brands? So when I was looking at cameras in terms of heavily researching what to buy, your option was Nikon or Canon. Sony had started making these mirrorless cameras, but they were a joke. Nobody actually used them. Like they were just like a thing they made. Pentax made cameras, well, they still make cameras, but I don't think they had a full frame offering at the time. They did eventually, but at the time I was looking, they did not. And that was kind of it. Don't think Fuji made this camera, which everyone used for school photos, had like the world's greatest skin tones. But it was really, you wanted to buy either a 5D, a 1DS Mark III, or the Nikon equivalent. And it basically came down to, if you shoot action and you need more than one autofocus point, by Nikon. If you don't shoot action, Canon. So
yeah, no, I mean, Sony were one of those kind of snuck up like a ninja.
Yeah.
Because Canon basically went to sleep in the 2010s.
Yes.
And just kind of rested on the laurels and relied on the reputation. And then they kind of woke up in 2020 and realised that Sony had stolen all their video business. And they wondered how it had happened is because Sony listened, and while Canon kind of didn't. And then now Canon once again playing catch up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I suppose the main reason actually that we don't talk about Sony's is because neither of us own one.
I mean, I did shoot a campaign on one once, and it was hellish. But I can't tell you how much of that is just it was different, and how much of it was just awful to use. I like the look of the cameras, and from a purely aesthetic point of view, I don't like the looks of their lenses. I always think Canon make the most beautiful looking lenses in terms of not what the lens produces, but physically looking at the lens.
Yeah.
I always think that Canon 85 1.2L lens was beautiful. Like, it's a beautiful design, like aesthetically, which shouldn't matter, but it obviously does. Like, these things matter. I always thought it was a beautiful lens and it looked good. We just don't like. Also, Sony's labeling system for someone not in it, something A76 what?
Yeah. I mean, there's probably a method to the madness. And again, Sony have got a massive fan base, as other camera brands have. And, there's absolutely nothing wrong with Sony cameras. In some respects, they say overtook Canon.
I mean, I'd say there's nothing wrong with any camera brand in terms of the image it produces.
Yeah, I mean, anything made in the last 10 years.
Probably longer than that.
Yeah, I mean,
15, 20.
Yeah. Everybody had to make good cameras because there was no place in the market for a bad one.
I mean, what, the 5D Mark II came out in about 2009?
Yeah. I mean, when did I buy my 6Ds? 2013.
Yeah, about right then,
I bought my first one.
Still good enough for anything I need to do. 5D Mark II. I mean, I use better cameras because it makes life easier. I can still shoot a campaign on a 5D Mark II and get away with it. I think I did shoot a campaign on a 5D Mark II last year, didn't I? We had a really small job. It was a favour for a friend's agency.
Oh yeah. Because you went on location to shoot it, didn't you?
I shot it on location. I borrowed a light from the assistant. He lent me a Godox flash, but I forgot to specify I might need some modifiers. So I had a party afterwards, which is why I wasn't using my good kit.
Yeah.
I used a 24-70 2.8 lens that's slightly broken, 5D Mark II, and
Did you end up using a bed sheet or something?
No, it's my white shirt for the
shirt.
party afterwards. I pegged it to a rafter in the house and shot the whole thing. It was on billboards.
Yeah.
On billboards. 5D Mark II, 24-70 Mark I, Godox flash, and oh my God, he gave me a battery and this is not his fault. I was not clear. It was a battery-powered flash, and he had one battery. And I was doing a 10-hour shoot, and it was lifestyle. And I was like, how long's the battery last? I don't know. I was like, oh. Well, we did some low power flash that day.
Yes, I can imagine.
I shot sparingly. It was, not the one. So it was, you can't get a bad camera.
I mean, the thing is, especially when you're talking about, cameras of that level, which are now like £200 or less second-hand.
It's insane.
Bearing in mind that once upon a time, these were like the bad boy that every pro photographer was shooting campaigns on.
I mean, I've framed mine. It's up behind the coffee thing. Like, that has shot some interesting things. I've been on tour with big bands with that. I've been backstage with big bands with that. I've shot weddings with it. I've shot my first few billboard campaigns with it.
And they were just tanks that just keep on going.
Shot my first ever global campaign on that camera, actually, which was the Dolmio one, which you helped edit.
Ugh,
that was a big edit.
Yeah. I remember that well.
That was it wasn't my biggest paycheck, it was one of my first big paychecks. And I was very excited. I believe I bought champagne afterwards. Although I do think did we not have to work through the night?
We had to work through the night. And then I finished, I think I left yours, I think it was 6:30 in the morning, to then go straight to another job. I slept well that night.
I bet you did.
Yeah, so I remember sitting in your kitchen finishing that off.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. That was a brutal one. Back in the day. Don't do post anymore. Go to the post house.
Yeah.
No more overnighters for us. We're too old. My other thing I'd do is I'd buy a Leica M6. Like, if I won the lottery today, I'd buy a Leica M6 and a Hasselblad 500 CM. I'd get a digital back, but also get a film back. My office, I would convert into a dark room. I'd convert this area here into a studio office. And I would probably start farming golden retrievers. Not for profit, I must add. I just have fields of golden retrievers.
Yeah, I could see that.
You can't be sad with a field of golden retrievers.
I could see you just frolicking across the plains with the tribe of goldies on the
I'd buy a house in the countryside, and then on like 2 fields further down, I'd build a studio.
Yeah.
And I'd walk my dog from my house to my studio without coming into contact with any humans or roads, do my days prattling about, faffing with whatever I want to do, and then walk back. And that would be my life. What would you do if you won the lottery?
Oh, if I won the lottery, I'd just go around the world with the camera. Just travel docs.
Yeah, nice.
But kind of from like, not do the obvious stuff, do it kind of the stuff that interests me.
Yeah. Where would you go first?
Japan.
Nice.
100% Japan.
I'd love to go to Japan.
Yeah, it's so on the bucket list.
Well, when I used to live in Shanghai, it was always my thing was before I come back, I'll go to Japan because I'm already that side and the flights are expensive from here.
Yeah.
And it's expensive there.
Everything's expensive there.
And I was like, it just didn't work out like that. So didn't get to do it, but could have been good.
Yeah. So no, that would be the first. I would start there and then work my way around.
Also visually.
Yeah.
Tokyo was just like pure aesthetic. But yeah, anyway, we should probably wrap this up. I can just see we're at 59 minutes on this, which probably means what? 50 minutes in?
Yeah.
With all my faffing around.
Yeah, probably that, yeah.
Yeah, right. We better crack this on and then let's go and get it edited.
Indeed. So that's my job.
Nice one. See you all later.
Ciao for now.
Right, I'll let you do all the bits.